Game has quite the incredible story. Hello again there, friends and fans. Raptor here, and welcome to our first look at some major updates for the Crust. This game allows you to build a base on and below the surface of the moon, and before it came out into early access, this game was so popular when the demo for it dropped that the developers actually were like, oops, we accidentally made a good demo, we better bring it back. It was like part of a next fest, and people were so bummed that it was leaving and it left Steam for a while that they brought it back and kept it up permanently up until the game's release. I'm not even sure if it's still up now, but I do know that the game has changed dramatically from its early inception of like version 0, as they called it. Now we're at like 0.95.67. I say that because I checked my my library earlier, my save screen, and everything was at like version 0, so I deleted it all because it was no longer supported in this current version. There has been a ton of things changed since we last took a look at the game, and that's what I want to see from games like this. Developers listening to their fans and people who've been putting a ton of hours in to make tweaks and improvements upon a game, especially that's not yet released. If you're a big fan of games like Factorio, Satisfactory, Minetown, I think it is, I don't know, any sort of builder game with factories and conveyor belts and drones, this is definitely the game for you. A very good one, and one that we're going to take our first look at now for all of its new changes, and possibly come on back for more streams on it. So if you'd like to see more, make sure you subscribe to the channel. There you go. Oh, cool, look at that. It actually like gives you a little thumbs up and stuff. And make sure you hit that like button. Boom, confetti. Awesome. Let's go ahead and take our first look now at a new version of the Crust. There's a tutorial for the game, a storyline mode, and a sandbox mode, which I understand that the game is, well, the storyline mode is a work in progress, and I think once you've completed the storyline, it lets you go right into sandbox, so you can continue playing after you work the storyline, which is kind of an extended tutorial. There's the tutorial, right, like day one. Then there's the campaign, which kind of slowly introduces game mechanics over time, and then the sandbox mode, which opens up after that. Or you could, of course, do that right after the storyline in the same save. But I think it's more interesting to take a look at the storyline, so let's do that, and welcome to the Crust.
Destination 1, base MT4. Docking gateway provision priority. Highest. Coast crossing route. Always in favor of HB11. Priority launch and landing has been approved by Crust.
Alpha team, get ready to head back home. Over. Watch yourself out there. Lunar night is coming. Stand by, Alpha team. We've got visitors.
Mayor Tranquilitatis Logistics to incoming transition. Please state your intentions. Over.
Alice to MT Logistics. We have received clearance and hold a signed contract with Mr. Holloway for our mining operations in this designated sector. We're here to commence our activities as scheduled.
MT Logistics to Alice. We weren't informed of your early arrival. We've just finished building the elevator for your drones to access the underground facilities. At the moment, all the electricity is being used to charge the batteries as we prepare for night. We can't route power to the elevator right now. I suggest you keep your mining buddies in orbit for the next 2 weeks while we wait for the sun to come up, sweetheart.
Wow.
We made it here right on schedule, but waiting for the next morning on the moon, a whole 2 weeks of downtime, is utterly unacceptable. This could jeopardize our entire mining contract. We need a better plan. And the name's Alice, not Sweetheart.
All right, interesting. Okay, so I read a lot of the patch notes on this one, and it seems like some of the changes will be a little present later on. We have ourselves, of course, updates to vehicles and how they function, like, for example, the expeditions away from the base. So they've definitely listened to some feedback on vehicles just running on, like, electric and then being down over time. So there seems to be some rebalancing to a lot of that stuff. And the game looks better, maybe? It looks better than I remember, anyway. I mean, it was always detailed, but I don't know, maybe that's a little like brainwashing or something by it saying new update, and I'm like, oh, it must be prettier. But it definitely is a good looking game, that's for sure. So yeah, oh, look at that, we got materials already flowing. Nice. Okay, well, yeah, of course, there's detailed patch notes on Steam too, and there's way too much to cover here, especially for like bug fixes and whatnot. But basically, new features, some fixes to quality of life, and then back-end bug fixes as well. And of course, eventually we'll get more to the main campaign too, which is, as I mentioned, kind of incomplete at the moment, but we're taking steps forward to, seeing that complete, and that's not bad. Go.
Good afternoon, Director.
Hello.
This is Alice, your Vice President. We have a bit of a situation here, but I'm already on it. First, let's test our connection. Give this dialog box a click if you're hearing me loud and clear, then we can proceed.
All right.
Connection solid. That's a start. Give me a few minutes to secure our landing clearance. Feel free to soak in the sights while you wait. I'm sure you have a great view of the moon from your orbital station.
Sure do.
So, Robert, do we have a deal?
Let me be clear. A 2-week power outage equals job loss and a costly lawsuit for me. I don't care who you are, get Holloway on this. But no power for you and your toys until sunrise. We just don't have extra electricity right now.
Look, Robert, you and I got off on the wrong foot. Our drones were originally designed for autonomous construction and repair, and we've brought the necessary resources. Grant us landing permission, and we'll handle the power situation ourselves.
Now that I remember too, they've made some changes to how the colonists work, and they live underground. You have to build a base for them later in the game, so that's good. I mean, they were kind of annoying, but good.
This benefits both of us. More solar panels for you, and we could land our toys and get going. They also can handle the repairs. So, should I update Mr. Holloway on our successful collaboration?
All right, Alice. You have permission to land. Make sure your fancy drones don't break anything. Over and out.
Director, it's your call. Permission to land has been granted. Show this Bob the Builder that we can fix this.
You got it.
Objective achieved.
Choose a place to land the pods near the elevator. To do this, click on the notification on the left side of the screen and select an appropriate location.
Here they come. Very smooth. Nice. So we'll get some drones and some materials. And those drones, I think, offload that material? Oh yeah, they leave this little pod behind. Cool.
Director, your primary responsibility is to ensure resource extraction and processing at our logistics hub on the Sea of Tranquility. Currently, it depends on external supplies. If you can address this issue, even partially, rest assured, we'll secure long-term contracts for you in the years to come. I personally vouched for your mission to the board. I'd hate to send you home with nothing. Better help me convince these old-timers that you are a promising team, and your work is the future.
Absolutely, Mr. Holloway. Both the director and I are immensely grateful to you. Our focus is on establishing a long-term partnership, and we'll do our utmost to make it a reality. You can count on us. To get started, select the required modules on the director. Place the holograms of solar panels on the highlighted sites. Our drones will pick up necessary resources and begin construction.
Sorry to cut you off, ma'am. I didn't realize clicking would cut you off. My bad. Okay. Oh, we have to hold shift too to build multiple, right? Alright, cool. Now, I've started with the tutorial because they also provide a little bit of extra context and story. If we start from the standard campaign, we kind of lose the whole initial conversation between all the characters, and it starts after the initial explosion and disaster, which wipes the base clean. It's not a spoiler, it literally happens within, like, I don't know, 5-10 minutes, depending on how quickly you build. But I do like the whole launch sequence, too. The game skips that, and I think the developers should definitely put that in. If you just start from the beginning, it shows the, like the explosion, and it doesn't really show like the, you launching into space and arriving on the moon. They could at least leave those cutscenes in, so that's something I'd like to see changed too. Okay, we just need to wire these up then when they're done, so we'll just go this way back to the line. Well, let's wire everything nicely. Done. Oh, you can right click.
Objective achieved.
Well done.
Would you look at that? They've actually built them. Not a bad start at all. Alice, can you hear me? Your drones did a good job. Faster than I expected. All the energy from these panels will go to you, but if you want to work at night, you need to take care of saving it now. For this, you're going to need some batteries.
Well, thank you for your unwavering faith in our abilities, Robert. And I hope we've convinced you that we know what we're doing. And now our suddenly efficient drones will be busy building batteries.
Oh. Every once in a while, she'll skip having to click. But I get it, ma'am. You want us to build batteries. Let's build some batteries. I'm just eager to get started, that's all. Well, that was easy. Is there a way to... Oh, I'd like to be able to eye drop. That'd be nice. Is there a way to eye drop? No. It would be nice to be able to right click and copy an already existing building. No need to have to go to the menu if you do that. But at least we can right click and go to wires. Nope, can't do that either. Can't right click and go to wires, but we can do it this way? Okay. A little weird. Tutorial, I guess. Alright, now we need a charging station. That'll charge our drones. Sweet.
Objective achieved.
Nice.
Well, your drones really know how to build. Now use the wiring tool and connect the solar panels and batteries.
Done.
Next, you just need to power up the elevator and you'll gain access to the underground level.
Done.
Switch to the utilities mode and select the wiring tool. You can right-click to quickly access the tool. Shift consecutive wiring. Now that everything is up and running, let's get down to business. Switch to the underground level by pressing tab.
We're going down.
Objective achieved.
Ooh. That is very fancy. Nice. Thank you, ma'am. You taught me so much.
Great. To start mining, build the drone configuration module. The elevator transfers power from the surface to the underground level. No need to worry about that.
Where's this? We're looking for the drone reconfiguration module. Maybe under mining? Ah, there it is. Oh, this building already looks different. This does look different. I don't remember the blue canopy over it. That's interesting. Let's put it like here. Slightly different appearance. Kind of cool. All right, let's wire things up. So from the elevator, the power comes down from the batteries. All wired up. Excellent. Oh, there you go. You can see all the lights come on. That's cool. We got our... I think this thing makes concrete, I think. Regolith, I think, is put in there. Then we got silicon, and then I think we also have concrete here. Smart concrete. And then iron. I believe
Now
steel.
wire it to the elevator to power the module.
Oh yeah, that's definitely different. They definitely changed that. They probably put a label on it because nobody knew what the hell it was.
Pardon my curiosity, but how are you going to extract lunar regolith with cargo robots? I'm far from a robotics expert, of course, but it seems like we have more questions than answers at this point.
That's an excellent question, Robert, and I'd be delighted to answer it. However, I need to wrap up some things first. The drone reconfiguration module allows up to 5 drones to be converted into mining drones and vice versa.
Alright, we're going to convert 4.
Now let's have the drones excavate an area measuring 50 standard units. In the meantime, I'll have a chat with our curious Bob.
Okay, ma'am. Be nice to Robert. He's just curious. Be nice. Gonna mine a bunch of random area. There we go. Now,
To order the drones to start the excavation, you need to use the highlighting tool and mark areas for digging.
thank you.
And the mining drones will do the rest. Robert, to answer your question, our company has been providing repair and maintenance services for robotics and mining equipment for over 10 years.
So the underground is always randomized, from what I understand, too, is that the materials that are found underground will be different each time. So the above ground stuff is the same, but below ground, always different. Kind of cool.
We were involved in the development and maintenance of technology for lunar mining along with the first industrial expeditions to the moon, even before the construction of the space elevator and the full-scale development of the moon by mankind. And I'm pleased to inform you, Robert, that by pooling our vast experience, we have been able to develop and implement multifunctional drone technology that can be re-equipped for a variety of tasks. Did I answer your question in enough detail, or should I send you a set of materials for review?
Wow.
I can throw in a set of coloring books especially for you, so you can quietly make your downtime in the workplace more enjoyable.
Objective achieved.
Jeez.
All right, Alice, I get the hint. You do your job and I'll mind my own business. By the way, I'll grab a few coloring books as souvenirs for the kids. I'll be heading home in about 2 weeks.
Well, that's nice.
Director,
Robert has a lovely
I
family.
understand that I can be difficult at times, but your Alice is quite remarkable. She reminds me of my ex-wife.
Mm-hmm.
We're all still on the same channel, Robert.
So, what's up with those coloring books?
I'll send them to your wife along with some flowers. She's not likely to get them from her husband.
Wow, dude. Alright, Director, you've successfully completed the training and could continue the story or go to the main menu and choose another mode. Seek a balance between survival and exploration. Experiment with different strategies and lead your company to success. We're counting on you. Continue that campaign. Let's see what happens.
Wait. We're getting distress signals from everywhere. Director, the alert system isn't malfunctioning. We have to check.
I see there's still this little bit of a lag before this starts. It's always been an awkward transition where it plays that cutscene, goes back to the game, lags, and then does
This is an
this.
emergency broadcast. We have detected an imminent asteroid collision with the moon's surface.
Not bad, but it's
We are
weird.
currently assessing the extent of the damage and the number of casualties. At this moment, our teams are working tirelessly to restore communication with lunar outposts. For those still on the moon, be aware that we are mobilizing all available resources to assist you. Conserve your energy and ration your supplies until further notice. Additional information will be provided as the situation unfolds. Stay tuned for updates. Over and out.
I repeat, Crust has declared a state of emergency of the first degree. Commercial shipments and cargo landings are prohibited. All complexes, resources, and facilities on the moon are now under Crust control. All remaining facilities should switch to emergency frequency and report their status. Conserve energy and resources, and await further instructions.
What's happening? Director, can you hear me? We're receiving reports that a meteorite collided with the moon and the state of emergency has been declared. Director, confirm you're on the line right now.
Yeah, I'm here, girl. What's up?
You could have done it more quickly and spared me the worry. Director, there's still no signal from the personnel of the base. I'll try again, but my hope is dwindling.
Oh my god, Robert.
Robert, come in. Robert, do you copy? Robert, damn it, come in. There appear to be no survivors. I'm glad you were on the orbital station when the collision happened. I suggest you stay there as long as possible.
So we're actually up on the orbital station, the thing we saw rotating, I believe, at the start. And one of these stations is damaged and about to lose stability and crash into the moon. There's then some colonists or astronauts, whatever you want to call them. They're going to need to be rescued, and that used to be kind of tough to do. So I hear they've made some adjustments to that, so it's not so doom impending. It does feel a little bit like Frostpunk at this point in the game with the desperation and the timing.
We should try to hold out until logistics with Earth are restored. Start with electricity. We still have resources and functional drones. That should be enough for a few solar panels and batteries.
Okay. We'll go ahead and get these installed then. And I think everything we build from here on forward is kind of like temporary, for me anyway. And then I, delete them later. Start with some batteries. We'll do that maybe here. So we just need 5. We'll do 6 just to keep everything nice and organized.
Judging by the seismic activity, the meteorite impact occurred on the far side of the moon. We're lucky it happened so far away from our mission, but the strength of the blast wave raises a lot of questions.
Is that all the head of the research department can say? Somewhere far away there was an explosion and we don't know the cause?
Well, yeah, he doesn't know much more, ma'am. It literally just happened.
Because scientists are working with proven facts, not speculating on fragmentary evidence. Much more data would be needed to reach the conclusions.
She's very pushy. They haven't changed that. Alright, we got some spare steel around. Hopefully enough to build the solar panels then. Very limited materials.
We have electricity, but our resource reserves are almost depleted. We need to restore production as soon as possible. Let's start with repairing the elevator to gain access to the underground level.
Okay, I repaired the elevator already, and now it's powered, so we should just be able to hit tab now.
Then build a charging station for the drones. Make sure that elevator and charging station are connected to the power network.
Objective achieved.
Nope, still can't go down. Plus 49 on power. We also got money up here.
Director, we're getting word of supply shortages from almost everywhere on Earth. The explosion cut off most of the supply channels from the moon. Millions of people are in need of resources, and we can satisfy that demand. Supplies used to run through the contract system, but it came to a complete halt after the explosion. We might be able to fix that.
Okay.
The explosion destroyed everything on the surface, but there may still be mining modules underground. We need to go down and see what we have left.
Objective achieved.
Director, we need to reconnect the power supply to the underground level. Connect the elevator and electrical pole with wires so we can see the scale of the damages.
Objective achieved.
That's better. I see that we have a module to produce smart concrete, but we have an urgent need to resume production of steel and silicone.
That's interesting. I think when we were playing before, there was like a deposit here. Something, I don't remember what it was. Now it's changed. So after the tutorial, whatever you see changes a little bit. Okay.
Director, I have an idea. First, convert 5 drones into miners, and we'll proceed.
The drone reconfiguration module allows up to 5 drones to be converted into mining drones and vice versa.
We have smelting furnaces, but to start producing any resource, the relevant oxides are always needed. We will now mine them with the mining drones. Director, we have access to iron and silicone veins. Assign drones to mine the resources from the veins to supply the processing modules with raw materials.
Now, isn't silicone and silicon different? Well, whatever. Minor nitpick, I think.
Excavation mode, and assign mining drones to mine resources directly from a vein.
Okay. All right, so we need to mine iron oxide. We'll assign maybe 2 here. And 3 here.
Objective achieved.
And now we'll
You can
stand
now
by.
watch mining drones extract the oxides, and working drones deliver them to the smelting furnace.
I think shortly after this game's launch, too, they added additional drones, I thought, some sort of a
You can
larger
adjust the game
transportation
speed by selecting the desired speed
drone.
using the interface or the hotkeys 1, 2, 3. This feature can help speed up the building process. Alternatively, you can pause the game to plan your future base at a relaxed pace.
Still very much a tutorial, even though we're at the beginning of the mission. So the tutorial does go past that a little bit. Not bad. Okay, we have enough steel. Let's reassign for silicon. And we'll speed up. Mining drones are idle. Oh good, now our reticle is ready. Like having those options, that's good. Okay, cool. You need to go charge your battery, dude. Could put one down here so they don't have to go all the way back up. Might be a good idea to have one up above and below. Taking a little bit. So this game is taking place in 2080. And it looks like most of the moon has been colonized by all of Earth, providing steel and other goods, and doing some manufacturing too, and shipping those things back to Earth. Very cool.
The
Director, you can never have too much smart concrete, so it's worth spending time to produce it. For this purpose, we have a pressing module, which may not be the most efficient way, but it's good enough to start with. The pressing module requires only regolith, which is a type of lunar dirt plentiful here. Assign mining drones to the evacuation so that we have the resources we need. Free drones will deliver the regolith to production themselves.
He still says assign them to the evacuation. The word is actually excavation. These again are nitpicky things, but... Alright, let's see. Now we gotta do some mining. Yeah, we'll do a ×1 brush size. Okay. And, oh yeah, let's unassign from here so they can go mine elsewhere. We just need to mine dirt, basically, and dump it into this machine. So the pressing module will then take that regolith, as you mentioned, and turn it into smart concrete. I think they dump it in here to this bulk resource storage. Then it goes in, and then I think it needs to be taken somewhere. This thing can hold up to 36. We already have 27. And I think they might use this concrete for things like the charging station and maybe light poles. A lot of foundation work, anything that has a foundation. Most things do. And of course we have ourselves blue, yellow,
Director,
red,
here's
green
the latest
signs.
news regarding contracts. To resume shipments to Earth, we'll need to restore communication and significantly expand production. If we manage this in the near term, I'll negotiate an extremely lucrative contract with the aerospace company FASM. They've lost their supplier and are willing to pay generously for an urgent order. I'm still looking into the matter, but be prepared to devote all resources to this effort if you want to maximize the benefits. I'll return as soon as new information becomes available.
Roger that. Oh yeah, good. They're bringing in a lot of stuff. Yeah, so far so good on this. I forgot that the extendo tutorial is so extendo that it goes so far, but there is a lot to learn in a game like this. I mean, you know, this has many elements of Factorio and Captain of Industry with maybe a sprinkling of Frostpunk and you know, other time disaster type things, which is pretty cool. And I'm glad they didn't really change that. Of course, the biggest changes are more likely late game, and especially when we're actually like leaving the base and going to expeditions to other locations, and how those vehicles work. Like the how they take like a scout vehicle basically and start looking around the map, which is cool. It also looks like we're hitting the nighttime on the moon. So that's cool. Alright, let's speed things up. We're going to make 35 of that concrete still. That takes a while. One more to go.
Objective achieved.
Nice.
Well, that's a start. There should be enough smart concrete for the first time.
Now what?
Director, we have a message on the emergency channel. I'll put it on the screen.
Is it Robert?
Attention. This is Arthur Moore, commander of the Hope 2 orbital station. The station has sustained severe damage from multiple collisions. We have lost key control modules. A hard moon landing will occur in the coming weeks. Request best assistance from anyone who hears this message. All crew members are ordered to take shelter in Block 4. I repeat,
The debris from the meteorite impact must have gotten Hope 2. I'm already contacting Crust to report it.
Director, my name is Clyde Draper, and I lead the Crust search and rescue operation. We are aware of the situation with Hope 2, and are already developing an evacuation plan. There's still a chance to restore resource mining and production at your facility, and it's in our mutual interest for you to assist us. We need a place to accommodate the rescued crew, and your base is the most suitable candidate for this. Crust will provide you with the necessary equipment and scientific resources to carry out the assigned tasks.
With all due respect, Director, I do not share your doubts. People are in danger, and if it's in our power to help them, we must do so.
With all due respect, Alice, altruism has clouded your judgment. Crust is clearly asking for grant aid that we cannot afford right now. I suggest we focus on restoring production and resuming shipments to Earth, where resources are urgently needed right now. Also, I've negotiated a prepayment with FASM. We can use their funds if we start reestablishing the contract system now.
But all you care about is profit. If that's the case, think of the technology Crust will provide. It's worth as much as our base in its current state.
Do we pay a fair price for their technology? Don't forget, Director, by accepting Crust's offer, we will allow them to decide how our base is developed. We'll have to focus on the construction of the living quarters and postpone the expansion of high-tech manufacturing and investigation of the meteorite case.
Crust is going to accommodate the surviving Hope 2 crew members at your base in exchange for equipment and technologies for us to carry out a rescue mission. If you accept Crust's offer, you will lose access to the FASM contract, for which the corporation is willing to pay upfront.
I think this might be new with how it shows a little different detail here. The decision is always the same. We can either rescue those crew members and accommodate them at our base, or just go with the normal difficulty, which is recommended for a first playthrough, which just gives us 100,000 cash and access to the contract system. And I think honestly the more interesting one is the work in progress high difficulty, because we get to take care of colonists earlier and actually build like living quarters and hook up electricity and oxygen production for that and make food and whatnot. So let's go with that.
Good choice. You need to establish contact with the station, assist the commander with the evacuation, and then transport the team to your base. You should have living quarters suitable for sustaining life by then. Begin preparations for the construction of the living quarters immediately. It is a complex and resource-intensive structure, so maximize and optimize production so you're ready when survivors arrive. In summary, your main tasks are: contact the station and ensure the transport of the crew to your base. Construct a residential facility with life support systems. We will send a research plan and transportation for search and rescue operations shortly.
Nice.
We've barely recovered from the explosion. Now our base is just a couple of mining and processing modules. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to save the crew, but it'll be almost impossible in such a short amount of time. We definitely can't do it alone. I will send a request to colleagues and inform you when new information becomes available.
Indeed, the timing's not ideal. However, we still have the ability to break down the task and move towards our goal with small steps. First, we need to ramp up production. Living quarters will require a lot of resources. We have smelting furnaces, but we need extractors and refineries to extract oxides from mined regolith.
Alright, roger that.
Crust has handed us the research plan, and we're ready to begin. Research underground mining and place 2 extractors on the iron and silicon veins.
Okay. No research selected. Well, we better do that then. Let's see. So, any sort of new research? There must be. Maybe some things are in different places than before, and more than likely their prices and time to research has been upgraded too. We always had 3 tabs here for fundamental, engineering, and social. And here's our underground mining, as he mentioned. Let's go ahead and start that research. Then we'll maybe do regolith refinery. I forget exactly what the optimal order is, but we'll take little baby steps there. And we'll also need to research living quarters and ice processing. Of course, we'll need the green research for that. So I believe the first one is fundamental, then engineering with red or orange, as it looks like, and then green is the social. And some of them take 2 or even 3 combos. So there we go. Okay, so we're going to research that, build the extractors, and then connect them to a network. So these 2 basically need to eventually have conveyor belts going over that way. And when we wait for that, let's go ahead and also mine out a little bit more of the ground. We'll just kind of like paint that as best we can. There we go. Alright, so they'll get on mining and then dropping stuff off here, and we'll make more smart concrete. Module needs repair. Now we have to do this manually for now, but there is an upgrade to make it so that way the repairs are done automatically. And we might run out of battery power too, because it is night, and the game kind of forces you to build certain things at certain times. So anything that happens at the beginning is kind of on rails, you know, training wheels type thing. We could also, of course, later in the game, reclaim all these materials. Now I wonder, there was something about if we clicked over here at this satellite, they would kind of like tell you off. It was kind of funny. Oh, they don't let you click over here now. Like, oh, do you want a lawsuit? Wait, can we actually... I think if you try to reclaim this or something later, they tell you you can't do that or something. This is, I think, an expedition satellite or something like that, or a scanner, something to do with detection of like signals or something. I'm not sure. Anyway, I think the research is done. Let's go ahead and build some stuff then. Let's see, back to the extractors. Okay, cool. Now, eventually, after...
Don't forget that extractors need electricity. Hold down shift to build a chain of utility poles.
After setting all this up, eventually we have to go and... The Hope station will crash. The crew will abandon it before it does, and then they'll crash into the Earth too. And I think their landing craft takes damage, and they're losing oxygen. And then we have to basically find them and bring them back before... they suffocate and or run out of, I don't know, water or whatever it is that they need. Oh, looks like there's some areas that are a little too hard to mine. We could mine these with like tier 2. It kind of works like how it does in Evil Genius, where there's like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 hardness to rock, and you have to upgrade your drills and stuff to be able to cut through that. But it makes for a more interesting beginning because, you know, you want to make a large open square to basically make a huge factory floor for your conveyors and power lines and things to go through. But the hard rock is usually randomized, as well as where additional materials like iron and silicon are found. And then I think one more thing on the research list, this thing, the it's a radar, what is it called again? The not that engineering, the geophysical prospecting, yeah, the ore detector. That thing basically pings in a direction and then helps you to detect where additional materials are. So that's pretty cool. So, alright, they're building those extractors now. We need to connect them to the network. I think at the beginning we could just make them just, like, work. As in, like, have the drones bring the materials where it needs to go. And later on is a really good time to redo all your power lines and stuff. At the beginning, doesn't really matter too much. You know, you just make it work. Alright, so those drones are going to make power lines for us. Let's go ahead and go back to logistics then. And these 2 drills will then take care of things. And then they'll bring it here till we build conveyor belts. So we'll have smelting furnace for iron and one for making silicon, they say. And then we'll need storage and other things too. Eventually we get into manufacturing, and manufacturing will be so large that it's a really good idea to do manufacturing and storage above the surface.
The extractors have started mining.
Or on the surface.
Now finish the research and build 2 regolith refineries for producing iron and silicon respectively.
Oh right, we need a refiner before they go there.
place the regolith refineries similarly to optimize future production.
Okay. Right. So from the extractor to the smelter, then to the processor. I think it then refines it even more. Melting furnace, but this is... Oh, wait, is that the same thing? The hell? Oh yes, it's that, but the regolith... Oh yes, this creates ore. So we're refining that, yeah. And that creates slag. So this is kind of like a smelter, because it does create slag. Layout of this will be important later. Of course, like having to deal with the waste of the slag and whatnot is a little annoying.
Single regolith refinery extracts the necessary oxides from the regolith by thermal treatment. The process leaves slag that can also be used in production.
Now this is different. I don't remember a general storage looking like this at all. That's a new item right there. So some things are changed. Single resource storage is also old, but there may be new sizes that are shown down here that were researchable before. I should definitely put this down maybe here. Good idea to have a storage area, especially since it's literally just like a pallet or whatnot. Oh, we got a Steam achievement. A single spark. Build a single regolith refinery.
A single regolith refinery
That's new.
is a mono-refinery that can only produce one type of oxide at a time. Be sure to select the recipes for iron and silicon oxide to start production.
We didn't have Steam achievements before, so those of you who are big on Steam achievements, today's your day. Alright, so we need to select iron oxide, and we need to select silicon.
Objective achieved.
Done.
Director, a conveyor belt will speed up production and eliminate the need for drones in resource delivery. I advise you to keep an eye on this technology.
Oh, this is nice. You can bring everything to a general storage area. Good idea to do that for the upper and lower levels, maybe near the elevator.
You heard him, Director. Now we have a steel production chain, but we can increase its efficiency by connecting the modules with conveyor belts. It will reduce the load for drones and speed up production. Exactly what we need right now.
Slay. Okay. Oh, good. Research just completed. Let's go with those conveyors then, as they mentioned. So then we'll automate iron and silicon production. So basically we keep going through these steps little by little. Eventually there is a vehicle on the surface that we can find and start repairing. And then when we repair it, we'll send it out on an expedition to find out what the hell's going on. And I don't know if we get to take a look at the world map yet, but let's see. Ah, yes, perfect. So, yeah, so there'll be locations for us to go to, different research sites. There's other factions out there, people we could do jobs for. It kind of works a little bit like Frostpunk's Expedition System 2, where we'll send out maybe a truck to what seems to be a derelict research center, or it looks like it's been damaged. You show up and you find out people are living there, and they're like, oh my god, thank you for coming. We need like a bunch of food and a bunch of steel to get our base back up online. You know, will you do this for us? If you do, then you get things like money or research, or maybe they'll unlock a blueprint for you. And I think there's also maybe ways to bring people back to your base eventually that are beyond that. So pretty cool though. And you can actually see the rotation of the sun, you know, the day-night cycle from here. So pretty cool. Now we start, as far as I'm aware, every time in the same location. The crater is always the same that we see here. And I think our position in the world map is the same too.
Connect the extractor to the refinery and smelting furnace. This way, the resource-rich regolith will go into the refinery without needing to engage drones. Optimization at its best.
Very nice. Alright, so already I'm seeing a bunch of new buildings or redesigned buildings, like the drone reconfiguration module looks different, and then I don't remember having a lot of these different storage buildings before, so they must have been listening to feedback on trying to keep things organized. Like players would have to build a lot of these single and large resource storages, but these ones are great for separating metal components, electronics, so you could be a lot more organized with your layouts of your processing centers, like your micro circuit factories and other things like that. So pretty cool. And then also, of course, the things that I mentioned for changes to the vehicles. Although I have yet to play a lot more to see those changes, I did see a lot of stuff listed on Steam, and it's really cool to see them actually making big changes to what was previously a really annoying problem. Those drones would really never make it to their destination before the night cycle would hit. So, and there must be some changes to the tech tree too. Now, as they said as we were selecting one of those objectives, a lot of stuff is still a work in progress, so these things that are question mark could also be work in progress, or these might be unlocked later on in the game via the story. Who knows? But of course, there's the sandbox mode too, so a lot of these things might not be locked and might just require, you know, like immediate research. It might be locked for us for the story. So some things that I haven't seen before, or there's different symbols. So a lot of changes since we last played, and I'm happy to see it. Very, very happy to see that. So, over on the right side then is a lot more of the details for the changes to the Crust, quality of life, additional content as you can see, new factions from backers as well, a lot of bug fixes, a lot of UI tweaks, things for drones and vehicles too, as I'd mentioned. Look at all that stuff there, and some miscellaneous things. Now, there's a lot of good details here, and there's even more on Steam, so definitely make sure you check that out. And then I did see in the research that helium-3 harvester, that looked new to me too, and here it is confirmed for scanning for helium-3, extracting it, and then doing more with it too. So cool stuff. So wonderful to see one of the most popular games on Steam of, like, I think 2024 in a demo for the Steam Next event getting even bigger. I love how they put the Earth in the U. Alright guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on that notification bell. I would love to come back to Crust anytime in the future, and we'll continue on taking a look at its development as it goes on. So thanks again for all your support, and we'll see you all next time. Take care everybody, and thanks for watching.